Sony cyber attack, North Korea faces new U.S. sanctions. The U.S. has imposed new sanctions on North Korea in response to a cyber attack against Sony Pictures Entertainment. President Barack Obama signed an executive order on Friday allowing sanctions on 3 North Korean organizations and 10 individuals. The White House said the move was a response to North Korea's provocative, destabilising, and repressive actions. U.S. sanctions are already in place over North Korea's nuclear program. But Friday's actions are believed to be the first time the U.S. has moved to punish any country for cyber attacks on a U.S. company. Among those named in the sanctions were the Reconnaissance General Bureau, North Korea's primary intelligence organization; North Korea's primary arms dealer, the Korea Mining Development Trading Corporation, KOMID; Korea Tangan Trading Corporation, which supports North Korea's defense research; Jang Song-Kol, named by the U.S. Treasury as a KOMID representative in Russia and a government official; Kim Yong-Kol, an official of the North Korean government, according to the U.S., and a KOMID representative in Iran; Ryujin and Kang Ryong, KOMID officials and members of the North Korean government who are operating in Syria, according to the U.S. White House officials told reporters the move was in response to the Sony hack, but the targets of the sanctions were not directly involved. Jump media player help out of media player. Press enter to return or tap to continue. Speaking before Christmas, President Obama said the Sony hack was an act of cyber vandalism. Instead, the sanctions are designed to further isolate North Korea's defense industry as deterrent for future cyber attacks. The FBI and President Obama have previously said they believe North Korea was behind the cyber attack, although some cybersecurity experts have cast doubt on this. However, a senior White House official said it was extremely rare for the U.S. to attribute cyber attacks, and it was only done so because of the destructive nature of the attack, and because the White House saw it as crossing a threshold. The BBC's Kevin Kim in Seoul says North Korea has denied any involvement in the hacking and is therefore likely to respond angrily to the latest measures. However, he says, as there is little trade between North Korea and the U.S., the latest measures are unlikely to have any great effect, and will simply be heavy on symbolism. Hack effect. Sony was embarrassed after a group calling itself Guardians of Peace leaked data from its computers, exposing emails and personal details. Poster for the film The Interview outside of Regal Theater in New York, December 18. The interview was later distributed online. The group later threatened cinema chains planning to screen Sony's satirical North Korea comedy, The Interview. Oblique references to the 9/11's terror attacks prompted the cancellation of the film's nationwide release. A small number of independent cinemas did screen the film, and it was released online. Announcing Friday's sanctions, the U.S. said the apparent effort to stifle the movie release was part of the justification for the new restrictions. We take seriously North Korea's attack that aimed to create destructive financial effects on a U.S. company and to threaten artists and other individuals with the goal of restricting their right to free expression, the White House said in a statement. Today's actions are the first aspect of our response. North Korea has blamed the U.S. for lengthy internet outages in the country last week. Line. Sony hack, The Interview saga. The Interview features James Franco and Seth Rogen as 2 journalists granted an audience with Mr. Kim. The CIA then enlists the pair to assassinate him. November 22, Sony computer systems hacked, exposing embarrassing emails and personal details about stars. December 7, North Korea denies accusations that it is behind the cyber attack, but praises it as a righteous deed. December 16, Guardians of Peace hacker group threatens 9/11 type attack on cinemas showing film, New York premiere cancelled. December 17, Leading U.S. cinema groups say they will not screen film. Sony cancels Christmas Day release. December 19, FBI concludes North Korea orchestrated hack. President Obama calls Sony cancellation a mistake. December 20, North Korea proposes joint inquiry with U.S. into hacks, rejected by the U.S. December 22, North Korea suffers a severe internet outage. December 23, Sony confirms a limited Christmas Day release for the interview. January 2, the U.S. imposes sanctions on North Korea in response to the cyber attack.